Okay, so Steven Soderbergh's new movie, Black Bag, is out. It stars Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, and a whole bunch of awesome cast members. And I thought it was a great surprise. It's, if it wasn't for Bong Joon-ho, the best movie of the year. I'll get to my thoughts on Mickey 17 in a second, but I was so surprised by Steven Soderbergh, a guy who has had kind of a weird track record.
Well, yes. I wanted to
the
talk
last
about
like
this.
10-ish years.
He is infinitely beloved forever and ever by the film community, and for good reason, because he does interesting stuff always. He's very involved. He he's into movies. He blogs about them. He has his little website. Cool guy.
Very jealous of his formatting.
He lost interest in making like great films like over 20 years ago.
Well, yeah, because he's like he already like he's in the Hall of Fame basically, and so he kind of just got bored with directing. It was like, all right, let's just do a whole series where I'm just going to shoot this on an iPhone, and like that's
High Flying Bird.
Yeah,
yeah.
High Flying Bird. What was the horror movie?
The one that just came out.
No. He made one a
Presence.
few years ago that was also shot all on iPhone.
There was one.
Unsane.
Oh yes, that's on here. Yeah, 2018. Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, like kind of a spotty last decade. Logan Lucky was 2017. So that's about 8 years ago. That was like when his quote unquote like comeback started, because he said he was going to retire right around the time of Side Effects and Behind the Candelabra, which was 2013. So that's about 4 years off. He comes back with Logan Lucky, and then he's been incredibly prolific since, releasing more than 10 projects since. And this one I think is the best one in that run. I think I like Black Bag more than Logan Lucky. A great movie. I think we all enjoyed Logan Lucky, but that was like early days when we first started doing this podcast.
I love Logan Lucky.
It's a great movie.
I really, really like Logan Lucky.
And so is Black Bag. And the coolest thing about this movie was that there was a moment right at the beginning, about maybe 10 minutes in, when there's a scene of our main cast of characters sitting down for a little dinner party. And you start to get the feeling that, oh no, is this movie going to be boring as shit? Like, is it just going to be like a really talky movie where Steven Soderbergh is just really interested in putting the camera in weird places while actors just deliver dialogue? And then it takes a turn and you realize like, oh no, actually there is a reason why Black Bag is the first theatrically released movie that Soderbergh has made since Logan Lucky. Like, this movie plays in a movie theater. It is a rip-roaring ride. I loved it so much. I can't recommend it enough. Such a big surprise. Went into it not really expecting too much. I mean, the trailer does a pretty good job of selling just a solid little thriller of Fassbender and Blanchett being this married couple. It's almost like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith situation where they're both spies and you don't really know like where their allegiances lie. But there's a lot more going on here with the extended cast, but the movie doesn't really burden itself with trying to explore the lore of this spy agency, British spy agency. It's really just, here's a week in these people's lives and this very specific scenario, this very specific situation that they're dealing with, and that's it. It's like 90 minutes, maybe 100 minutes with credits.
Love that.
Movie just breezes right by. Great performances. Tom Burke is here. Furiosa heads, Mank heads.
Hey,
rise up.
Okay.
I like him.
Marissa Abella is here. Industry heads rise up. Also Roger Jean Page, I believe that's how you say it. From he's in Bridgerton, right? I know him from the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh yeah. He was in Sandman.
Oh,
right? Wasn't he?
The Sandman?
He wasn't in The Sandman?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, and he also was in Bridgerton.
And then Naomi Harris rounds out the ensemble from Moonlight, the mom from Moonlight. Also, Pierce Brosnan is here, you know, James Bond himself. I kind of wanted a little bit more from him, but just the fact that he's here, that you got Bond, you know, in a spy thriller, like, that's cool. He doesn't get to do as much as I would like. But you're really here for... You're here for the killer. You're here for Tar. This movie is kind of what if the killer was a wife guy.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of what you're dealing with here.
Is he as much of like a kind of bad at his job as the killer is?
No, he's actually a little bit better here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the
he's a little
killer's
bit more
like
competent.
not good. That's kind of the whole point of the movie.
Yeah. No, I loved him. I love the fits. Fassbender has some great fits in this movie. Maybe we got to do a WBAM category for like the best fit.
I do see in just this this one freeze frame, it looks like he's wearing a turtleneck with a suit jacket.
Yes.
Sports coat.
Yes, he is.
That's such a great look, man. More guys should rock that kind of
Yeah.
look. I should rock
with
that
a little
kind of look.
hat.
Oh,
a little like old British man hat to let you know that he's had some years on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by how much I love this movie. It would be my number one if it wasn't for the new Bong, Mickey 17, starring Robert Pattinson and Robert Pattinson. This is Bong Joon-ho's follow-up.
Isn't Robert Pattinson in this movie too?
Yeah, he is in it too, as well. Yeah. Follow-up to Parasite, Academy Award winning. This movie hasn't been as well received as I would want it to be, but given like the tumultuous lead up to its release, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This movie is received about as much as I could have, as well as I could have expected it to be, where it's film bro guys are like, fuck yeah, this is my goddamn movie. And the general public are like,
no, thank you.
What's going on? And it's funny, like a couple people in our in our Discord were just like, should we go see this movie? And I'm almost like,
maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
support cinema.
I also love this movie while fully admitting that this has many warts on its surface. Like, I think that this is, and I think that I would say the same for all of Bong's English language features, Snowpiercer, Okja, and now this Mickey 17. I think that this is clear cut better than Okja.
Yeah.
For me, I really love Snowpiercer, despite the fact that like it is like the entire story, the metaphor is just kind of like right there. Like that is,
and that's why it's good.
The subtext is the text. And I kind of love that about it.
I mean, same with Okja.
Right.
Well, that's that too. But
Okja's like 3 or 4 different like stories.
Okja's pretty stupid.
I will say,
Okja's pretty much a dumb movie.
Great. Is it Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie? Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal and
Mr. Music himself.
There you go.
I think the biggest problem with Okja is that it's a Netflix movie, so you couldn't see it in a theater. Mickey 17 looks fucking amazing in the movie theater. I saw it in IMAX. Like the entire movie fills up the full IMAX aspect ratio. Right. It looks fucking phenomenal. Just the design of this world, the grungy, like worn nature of this sci-fi world. I couldn't get enough of it. I think Okja would have played better in a movie theater, but because it lives on Netflix, like it just, there's a ceiling on like how much you can give yourself over to that.
Okja has like a class that some Netflix things have gotten better about, of like, you can tell it's a Netflix thing because there were just no notes given at any point in time. Speaking to your point about how it feels like 3 different movies that are all happening at the same time. Mickey 17, if anything, I might say that it's a movie that might have had one too many notes. There's one thing that was our takeaway coming out of it was there is a lot of voiceover in the first act of this movie.
Yeah, and it's, I wonder if Bong meant for that to be. I'm worried that the cut, and there's been rumblings that the cut that's in theaters is not Bong's like preferred cut of the film, and we might get a director's cut later.
And I mean, there's a little bit of that is kind of on the surface of the voiceover. There's one moment that happens right towards the end of the film that hints at something much more like nefarious and dark that is always kind of under the surface, but is never completely explored. Without spoiling anything, it has to do with the sauces. That I wonder if that is something that maybe there's a little bit more there. It's
based on a book.
They were like, hey, Bong, we're giving you $120 million to make this movie. Can you please just try to make this down somewhat financially viable? Like, don't make this like an absolute disaster. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not helping too much.
Oh, no, movies does failure.
It's not going great. I'm trying to look up what the international box office is, because that is the only chance.
It might hit 50. Might be around 50.
That
is it 40? Is it not even 40?
It is at 49 worldwide right now. On a 118 budget, you say at least 1.5 times
I think
that
it's
with
like
all
150
everything.
probably.
I'd say it might be even pushing 2 with marketing and everything. So this
Yikes.
is Warner's gonna be eating it a bit here. Sorry, Zaz. Might be cutting into that.
I mean, I'm glad they
but
didn't
I'm so happy that
cancel
this movie
the
exists.
release.
That's the thing, is that I'm just so happy at this. Could you imagine if Zaslav was like, sorry, follow up to Best Picture and Best Director, whatever,
No,
we're
they're
not
done.
You're not releasing this? No, I
We
think
would
that
riot.
this is I'm very happy that this movie exists, and I do love a lot of it. Kind of despite some of the plot warts, the main big takeaway is this might be the best Robert Pattinson has ever been in a movie.
Which
is saying something, because
phenomenal, dude.
Pattinson's one of our best actors that we have, and the fact that he is able to do so many different things in this is just
Yeah.
showing off the range of how special of an actor he is.
It's a special performance. I got a lot out of it. He does a really freaky voice. And
he does do a voice.
everything he says in the movie is kind of like this all the time.
Is that good, Hunter?
That's not bad. That's not bad. I will say,
Hunter, hold on.
the
Try
voice-
to do better.
he. God, I haven't practiced. You can't just call me like that.
I don't feel like dying all the time.
I will say, the voice isn't always as consistent, but I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing.
It's not as breathy, is it? It's a little bit more
It is a little bit
dynamic.
higher, kind of, in some scenes.
And then you get Mickey 18. And
Mickey 18 gonna fuck.
Mickey 18's he's gonna tuck you in a little bit.
What the hell?
Mickey 18 is fucking, is the thing. Mickey 18 be fucking.
That middle stretch of the movie where it's just 2 Robert Pattinsons, that's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like absolute cinema.
And also that is Bong kind of it's perfectly a perfect marriage of director and source material when it comes to like the grand ideas of the movie can kind of get a little bit outside themselves, but in that moment of like, okay, what is sentience and what does it mean to be alive and to like be one being, and now you are more than one being? Are you each 2 individual beings?
You share
Are you
a
still
soul?
the being? Remember, you are one. Like that is
Notes.
a very, very impressive, excellent idea that is perfect for Bong, that feels free of the notes that might have marred some other parts.
Notes of Severance here, you know, Mickey 17 being released at the same time as Severance season 2. Like the idea of a capitalist dystopia taking advantage of humans to exploit their labor and splitting their personalities.
Much like Severance, I prefer the moments when we're in smaller enclosed spaces than whenever we're outside in the real world.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
real world,
the thing with Mickey 17 is that, you know, we don't get enough of that outer layers of the story, but the little bit that we do get made me very interested. And I would love to see, you know, they made a Snowpiercer TV show that nobody watched.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Mickey 17
like,
TV show.
Your like older cousin like loves. Like it just everybody has like a cousin that they just like
They're tuning in to
they're like,
see
yo, you watch Snowpiercer?
Daveed Diggs.
Yeah. It's on Fox.
Jennifer Connelly, I think.
Sure. I could not tell you.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's this show. It's like an allegory for like how trains are bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Everything's computer. We gotta get the Mickeys to sell more Teslas. The stock is plummeting.
Are you doing
Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo, that is kind of his voice. He does talk a little bit like this. This is he's showing his teeth. He's showing the smackers out there.
The Jay Baruchel wig of the year. It's an early contender for those veneers.
But that's like one where you're just like, yes, I'm so glad that they went for it. That is a winner.
Is it a bad performance?
No, are you kidding? I love this lane that Mark Ruffalo has found himself in. Thank Christ that Mark Ruffalo isn't just doing the same thing that Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are doing, where they're like, "Hi, yeah, we'd like to come back for some Marvel money, please." Instead, Mark Ruffalo is like, "I'm gonna be I'm gonna go full like zany comic performance." Between Yorgos and now this, Toni Collette absolutely
I wanted a little bit
delightful.
more from her, but she's great.
Oh, I think she's delightful in what she has. It's not a ton. Like both her and Ruffalo are kind of caricatures, but caricatures that I like.
I think Steven Yeun is incredible in this. I think Naomi Aki is kind of the unsung MVP of this thing. Just so many moments that just knock me out from her character.
Steven Yeun in space. What is this, Steven Universe?
Whoa! What is this? Invincible?
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Well, he's actually not invincible because he's there's replicas of him, so
Oh,
he's actually quite invincible.
oh, good. Love Mickey 17. I wish that, it was a little bit more accessible for the masses, but sometimes that's what art is. It's a little bit unaccessible. And, it's not, I would describe Black Bag more as like a satisfying, like tight thrill ride. Mickey 17 is way more shaggy, way more unwieldy. That last like 20 minutes is super, super shaky, but I liked it more. I thought that the highs were higher. And for me personally, it kind of hit very specific thematic beats that I love. I mean, I love the commentary on capitalism, on nature, the environment, identity, like all of these things that Bong is touching on in all his movies are all in this big stew in this movie. And it was great. Yeah. Like, is it a flawed movie? Absolutely. But it's a Bong Joon-ho movie.
Right.
On a massive fucking canvas. Like, I can't help but love it.
That's kind of also the thing where, like, I know just as a default, I want to give this movie the benefit of the doubt that it's just only going to continue to age better and better because it's made by one of the great masters of cinema that we have. And so, like, I know that this is a movie that will fit kind of interestingly in his film canon, but it feels of a piece in so many ways, and I really do love a lot of that. And like you said, man, it's a shame that more people aren't going to see this in theaters because goddamn does this movie look stupid good.
Yeah,
stupid good.
Maybe it'll hit on Max. Will it have more viewers than Horizon and American Saga Part 1?
0%. It will not. Have you seen the Walmart DVD bin numbers for American Saga Part 1? I mean, I haven't either, but like just based on word of mouth.